Now this first part that I'm going to show you, where you're going to see the heads, the ID, the pictures of those politicians, senators and representatives who have signed away our country. You'll have the phone numbers, as I said before. You've got the phone numbers and the facts so that you can get in touch with them to get these treaties repealed and cancelled. Now, in the old days, politicians had to be accountable to their people that elected them. We've got no accountability at all. You're looking on the screen at the Joint Standing Committee on Treaties for the Parliament of Australia, and that's a 16-member committee, and it's made up of the Labor, the Liberal, the Nationals and the Greens. All of the parties in Australia, the political parties, are responsible. Now, what we expected, that as Australians, we gave them the responsibility to look after our way of life. But without asking you, and without any referendum, and without telling you what they have done, they have actually signed up treaties and agreements with alien sovereignty powers. And this is against the Constitution of Australia. It is in fact treason. Why? Because they gave you an oath of allegiance to look after you here in Australia, not to be obedient to alien forces such as the New World Order, the United Nations, World Health Organization, CFR and the Trilateral Commission, led by the Masonic banking cartel. And as a result of these illegal treaties, our ecosystem has been destroyed. Our bees have just about disappeared. Thousands of birds are reported to be dying all over the country, and we have GM food without being told that they are allowed to put it in. We have GM seed, which is killing our wildlife, and we also have fluoride in the water, which nobody wanted, and overseas people have banned it. As a matter of fact, we are importing to drink this poison from Belgium, which has banned it. And this fluoride has caused so many hip replacement, knee replacement, thyroid problems and kidney problems, it should not be allowed in our drinking water. Now, these people, you would expect that they are intelligent people, but they have been thoroughly duped. Now, the Bush administration, the administration of the USA, told the world that they were being under attack by terrorists. Already, many thousands of people have recognised the fact that the 9/11 was not an act of terrorism. It was done by the Bush administration themselves. In other words, it was a false flag operation. Now, it's hard to believe, this is totally hard to believe, that they would kill 3,000 of their own people just so that they could have this make-believe war, a war which they have started, a war which is not going to be won. It's an unwinnable war. So why do they want it? This is about New World Order control over every country in the world. And Australia are these people that you're looking at on the screen, the Standing Committee of the People. They fell for this box of lies, and now these draconian laws will include that they can confiscate your property, they can take over everything you own, they can line people up and arrest them without any charge and hold them for as long as they like. That's what they can do now under these new laws of their war. Now, because they have absolute total control over all the media, you're not being told the truth, and the media are partners in these crimes. The chemtrails up in the skies, as you see by this plane on your screen, they are causing heavy metals to be in the water of the rain that comes down to the earth, and it is causing a lot of sickness. And you can see our previous report showing you that some of the water that's coming out of the sky is up to 130 parts per million of heavy metals, when it should only be 1 to 2 parts per million. Now, because the media is totally under the control of the United Nations and the New World Order, you are not given any truthful answers to it. Millions of people have made complaints to the government about the HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, and you can look that up on the internet. Millions of people making the complaints have been given a box of lies that it's not real, that chemtrails are not real and HAARP's not real, when in actual fact they will tell you that it's a conspiracy, but it is not. By a referendum, when the Australian people were asked if they wanted to have a republic, they emphatically said no. But is that stopping these powers, the United Nations and the New World Order? No, it's not. They are coming through the back door with stealth, and with covert operations to have our government enact laws to change laws. In other words, one of the things that is happening all around the world is to accept so-called stimulus money from the United Nations, from the IMF, from this banking cartel. And we are going into debt $100 million every day with what the Labor government has approved. This is absolutely insane. And what it does, it causes the governments to get such a big debt they can never repay, and then the country is sent bankrupt, as it did with Argentina, Spain, Greece, and 3 or 4 other countries are on their way out right now. Australia will fall as well. They want all governments to fall. They want the governments to go into debt. And the stimulus package that they offer is the way they're going about it. And this is absolute crazy. More than that, now I'm going to show you how the corporation is behind. The New World Order wants us to be a corporation and republic. And that is the reason why Julia Gillard has been charged with tainted of treason. In other words, concealing treason. She is aware that the Queen was taken out of our Constitution. That was an unlawful act. She has just committed another treasonous act with the Governor-General, and I'm going to show you now in this clip how they went about providing a false, fraudulent oath of allegiance. You will see in this film clip 2 pieces of paper exchange hands. So let's start with the beginning of the oath of allegiance that was given to the Governor-General by Prime Minister Julia Gillard. Now here's the actual words of the correct oath of allegiance and the affirmation, but you're not going to see these words or hear these words that Julia Gillard gave to the Governor-General when she was sworn in to be Prime Minister.
To the Honourable Julia Gillard, MP.
I, Quentin Alice Louise Bryce, Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, pursuant to sections 64 and 65 of the Constitution, hereby direct and appoint the Honourable Julia Eileen Gillard, MP, a member of the Federal Executive Council, to hold the office of Prime Minister and to administer the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet.
Now here you're going to see 2 pieces of paper change hands. The first piece of paper in the Governor-General's hand, she's filling it in, signing it, and then she'll hand it to Julia Gillard to be signed. Now she will hand this piece of paper signed back to the Governor-General. But watch now for the second piece of paper for the oath of allegiance, which is false.
Ms. Gillard, I invite you to stand and make and subscribe the affirmation of office as Prime Minister.
I, Julia Eileen Gillard, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will well and truly serve the Commonwealth of Australia, her land and her people in the office of Prime Minister.
Now Julia Gillard hands back this fraudulent oath of allegiance to the Governor-General. Because of this treasonous act by both parties, this is the wording of another summons that's been served on Julia Gillard. The accused did within the Commonwealth of Australia representing the electorate of Layla at Werribee and Canberra during the month of June did take an unlawful oath and affirmation as Prime Minister of Australia. Now, We're waiting to see if the courts are going to suppress this and if the media is going to try and keep it silent.